Infancy is perhaps one of the happiest times for parents. During this time, children start to babble, take their first steps, and fill their parents' lives with many, many diaper changes. But today we're not going to pay so much attention to those diapers, but we're going to spend a little bit more time looking at an infant's physical growth. What are some of the abilities that a child gains during this crucial period? And what are some things that might hinder these joyous developments?
So, Michelle, I hear you have a 1-year-old daughter, was it?
Yes.
Can you just tell me a little bit about? I want you to just call back a year ago to when she was first born. I know we typically think of babies not really being able to do a whole lot, but they do have some reflexes even when they're first born. Tell me about the first time you nursed her. Was it kind of hard for her to get her to nurse? Did you kind of have to figure it out, or was it just like instinctive on her part? How did that work?
No, I just grabbed her, laid her there, and right away she knew what to do.
So she just kind of latched on.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Okay, so tell me, did you ever like tickle her feet or try to put anything in her hand or anything?
I tried to tickle her feet. She wasn't ticklish right away.
Oh, okay.
And then she did like if you would put your finger in her hand right away, she would like squeeze
She
it.
would just grab
Yeah.
it right away. Wow.
Babies, when they're first born, pretty much can't really do much as far as motor skills, but as time goes on, they become capable of standing, eventually walking, running. At 7 to 9 months, babies begin to shift their weights to their feet and pull with their arms, which allows them to stand up. Then, at about 10 to 14 months, children begin walking. They gain better control of their legs and are able to walk on their own. This is my niece Kayla. She's 14 months old now, just outside the 12-month span of infancy, but in the past year I've seen her grow a ton. About 3 weeks old, she started to hold her head up. At 4 months, she learned to roll over. Then at 9 months, she began to crawl. In 12 months, she figured out how to stand up. And now at 14 months, she's walking more and more every day, like a pro. Unfortunately, not all children get to have as happy a childhood as Kayla. Some children struggle with different health conditions that really make it very difficult for them to grow properly. Some succumb to failure to thrive or have serious respiratory conditions like respiratory distress syndrome, where they're not getting enough surfactant in their lungs to keep their lungs open, or even SIDS, where the child can just suddenly die, maybe while they're just sleeping. I decided to interview a nurse to see what she thinks about these things.
So Bonnie, I'm sure from your many years of experience working in a hospital as a nurse, you probably had some opportunity to work with people of all age groups, many different ones. Tell me a little bit about babies, infants, when they do sometimes, unfortunately, have some health issues. What are some of the potential complications that can go on, and is there anything that can be done to prevent that?
Well, small babies have a lower immunity and they can get infections easily, and the hospital is full of infections. Um, but it also depends if they're nursing, they get the immunity, some of it from their mother. If they're bottle fed, then they don't get that. Especially a child who's had a problem, they can be more susceptible to breathing problems. They could have SIDS and things like that. It might be a good idea to put a monitor on the baby, just to be sure. In fact, some people put them on healthy babies just because they worry about that. But from what I understand now, you put the baby on their back.
Today we've learned about some of the basic features of a child's first 12 months in this world. Endowed with special reflexes from the very start, right after birth, the child grows and develops, and some, of course, don't thrive as well. But I hope this journey through the physical development of children during their first 12 months may be a help to you in your parentage and your working with children.